Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing another installment in my Simple Set series, and I am featuring these beautiful square floral note cards, and these feature some brand new products from Pinkfresh Studio. The new January 2024 release from Pinkfresh Studio is available today, and I have chosen to feature the brand new Best Wishes product suite. Now, I'm going to be doing the hot foil version of this today, but keep in mind there's also a stamp set, which I will be using for a portion of this card. There's a coordinating die set as well as a coordinating layering stencil set. And I really took my color inspiration from the Pantone color of the year, which is this really beautiful peachy color. Now I'm going to start by placing the Best Wishes hot foil plate onto my glimmer platform, which has been preheated. And then I ran the timer. Once the timer's done, I'm going to add my foil. This is champagne foil from Spellbinders. And I've added that with the pretty side facing the pattern of my hot foil plate. And then I've added my cardstock, which is Concord and Ninth white cardstock. Then I added the shims that are included with the Glimmer hot foil system, and I'm running that through my Platinum 6 die cut machine to press that foil onto the cardstock. And this is going to give me some really beautiful floral images. Now, a hot foil plate or stamp set like this is perfect for a Simple Sets series card project because you get multiple images with just one pass of the foil plate or with just one stamping of the die. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my cardstock onto a grip mat from Waffle Flower, and then I'm going to line up the first layering stencil over these images, and I'm going to start my ink blending. And you can see my color palette over there to the left. I'm using some older and some newer Pinkfresh Studio ink colors to create a really beautiful blend. So I'm starting with the most solid stencil in the stencil set, and I am using Peach Fuzz ink. Now, it just so happens that the Pantone color of the year for 2024 is called, yes, you guessed it, Peach Fuzz. So I'm starting with that. And once I've blended over all the open areas, I'm coming back with my Pinkfresh Studio 1/2-inch blending brush and grabbing just a tiny bit of Cherry Blossom ink and blending that towards the center of the flowers. Now, I realize it's hard to see the floral outline images right now, especially with the stencils over the top, but in the end, you'll have some pictures to look at. And keep in mind, you can also head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below, and over there you will find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies, as well as some information on a blog hop that's happening to celebrate this brand new release from Pinkfresh Studio. So once I have my first layer of ink blending done, I'm going to go ahead and line up my second stencil in the set. And I'm going to blend this with Sunkissed ink. And Sunkissed ink and Peach Fuzz blend together so beautifully. If you haven't tried this combination yet, you totally should. Now, I've sped up the ink blending process here, but I've left most of it in here so you can see me work through this. I'm lining up the third stencil now, and this is going to be the first stencil in my greenery. And for that, I am using Eucalyptus and blending over the top of all of that. Then I lined up my fourth stencil, and I'm using Lush Forest. This is one of my favorite new colors in the newer colors that were released from Pinkfresh Studio back in September of 2023. I just love the richness and the depth of this really dark green color. Now, I have found that I like to wipe down my stencils before I remove them from my image because it's not only keeping my hands clean, but it's also keeping the image underneath clean. If I were to wipe it off after I remove the stencil, there's a chance that I could get some of this ink onto the surrounding cardstock. Now you can see my beautiful images here. They are ready to die cut. So I am using the coordinating Best Wishes die set, and I'm lining that up and I'm holding it in place with a little bit of scrapbook.com mint tape. And I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. I'm using the Anna Griffin Empress, and you're going to see that I actually have 4 separate floral images that I can use to create 2 note cards. So I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck with this because I have 4 images. Now, if I wanted to, I could technically create 4 separate cards, but I kind of wanted a fuller look on these 2 note cards that I'm creating today, so I'll use 2 images on each of these cards. Now I'm going to take the Folk Edge squares. These are one of the essential dies from Pinkfresh Studio, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine using some peach sorbet cardstock from Spellbinders. This is absolutely beautiful and quite in line with the Pantone color of the year. It blends beautifully with the Pinkfresh Studio ink colors that I use for my florals. And because they have the little diamonds around the outside, I just pop those out with my finger or my dual tip embellishment tool. Now I'm planning out my square note cards before I go ahead and assemble this. And so I've grabbed 2 of the floral images and I'm arranging them kind of in a lower corner design. And once I have those in place, I am going to work on the sentiment. Now for my sentiment, I am going to use this brand new Julieta die set from Pinkfresh Studio. It's a gorgeous alphabet die and it coordinates so beautifully with the Folk Edge squares, rectangles, and circles, which are a part of the Essentials line from Pinkfresh Studio. And I've die cut the word hi from some white cardstock. I die cut it actually 3 times for each card so that I could stack up these letters and give them some dimension. So I'm just kind of trying it out here. You can see I have my dual tip embellishment tool in my hand there, popping out those center diamond shapes that are in my letters. And then I'm just going to add liquid glue to 2 of the white cardstock layers. And then I'll grab my tweezers and stack these up to create a stack that's 3 high, just giving it a little bit of dimension. And these are the reverse grip tweezers from Pinkfresh Studio. I love them because they're gold. They're my favorite set of tweezers, and I always love a pair of reverse grip tweezers. So these are fabulous to have in your stash. Now, once I stack those up, I'm just using my fingers to kind of push all of the layers together, make sure they're lined up. And then I'm going to add an acrylic block over the top to let those kind of dry a little bit. And I did the same thing with the letter I as well. Now, to adhere my floral images into this lower right-hand corner of this card project, I'm going to use some foam adhesive. And once again, I'm using my tweezers to keep my fingers out of the way so I can really see where I'm placing this on my card front. And I'm just creating kind of a little corner design in this lower left-hand corner. Now, on the other card, I created the corner design in the lower right-hand corner. Now, here's where I grabbed the Best Wishes stamp set, which is the same floral images as the foil plate, but it also has the sentiments available. And I grabbed this little stamp that says Just a Note. I lined it up in my Misty stamping tool exactly where I want it on my card front. And then I inked up that sentiment with the Sunkissed ink and stamped it onto my card front, just kind of nestled into all of those images. And then I can grab my liquid glue to adhere the word hi onto this card front. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the letters, but I'm going to pull it out of the grip mat that's in my Misty stamping tool here. And I'm just going to grab my 6-inch T-square ruler to make sure those letters are lined up on my card front before they dry. So this liquid glue is still wet. I have a little bit of wiggle room. And you can see here that I've gone ahead and assembled both of my card fronts. Now I have trimmed down some matte gold cardstock. This is from Concord and Ninth to be just the teeniest bit larger than this Folk Edge square. And I'm going to use some tape runner adhesive on the back of this peach piece and just place it right on top of that gold piece. This is going to give me a really delicate outer gold frame. And it's also going to allow that gold cardstock to shine through those little cutout diamonds on the edge of this Folk Edge square. Now for my card base, I'm going to go ahead and take this ivory cardstock and cut it down to 8.5 inches. So I'm going to end up with a square that measures 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Then I'm going to trim that down to 4.25 inches right down the center. And this is going to give me the cardstock that I need for both of my card bases. I'll take this over to my scoring board here and then score it at 4¼ inches. So these card bases measure 4¼ inches by 4¼ inches. They're a square card base. And then I'm going to add some tape runner adhesive and add my card fronts onto each of these card bases. So just to reiterate, each of these card bases originally measured 8½ inches by 4¼ inches, and then I scored it down the center at 4¼ inches to create this square card base. And I debated whether or not I should use some foam adhesive behind these card fronts, and I decided that it was beautiful just in its simple form. So I added it directly onto the card base with a little bit of tape runner adhesive. Now I'm finishing these card designs off by adding some metallic gold pearls from Pinkfresh Studio. I used my dual tip embellishment tool there to add those onto my card fronts. And that finishes off 2 cards that are really quick and easy to put together. These are easy to mass produce because you're getting a lot of images with every pass of your hot foil plate or with every stamp of your stamp. And keep in mind that if you don't have a hot foil system, number one, I totally think you should get one. But also you could recreate this look with the stamp set as well. And I think that is just the beauty of these Pinkfresh Studio product suites. There's something for everyone. Now, as always, I will have links to the featured products used in these projects in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies, as well as some information on a blog hop celebrating this brand new release. And there are prizes, people, so be sure to join me over there. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. Let me know in the comments below which of these new products from Pinkfresh Studio is your favorite. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.